So just tell everyone quickly. So this come to the end of the phase two now. So that's 9 months in the program. What's been your total weight loss now, Neil?
Yeah, so 34 pounds down in total since really starting.
Amazing. And I'll say this: the number on the scale is one thing, but what has that given you, like in terms of life quality, energy, things like that? How have things improved?
Yeah, I mean, it's just totally feeling better in so many different ways, just feeling good in myself, the clothes fitting better and having to change the wardrobe. Do you know, even when people notice, um, I've got to a point where I've said to people, thank you for noticing, because it's meant as a compliment when it's delivered. They don't have to say anything. Um, and it matters. And to go to that event the other week where two individuals, business wise, didn't even recognize me was absolutely priceless. It was.
Tell me the story, but just tell everyone what happened. So you walked in and tell everyone what went on, what actually happened.
Well, there was a number of people there that I've known just through business. It was a business event, and two people just flat out ignored me over the course of the morning. And I just thought,
You conscious of them ignoring you? You thought, what's up here?
yeah, I genuinely thought because one of them I actually said hello to, and he literally walked by me and didn't even acknowledge the hello, even like you would if it was a stranger saying hello. But I later found out that they just didn't recognize me because of, I was 34 pounds heavier the last time that they saw me. So,
It's
then the convers
2.5 stone, isn't it? It's a lot of weight.
yeah. So just all round, feeling good and getting into a nice routine in living with a healthier lifestyle. It just matters, and it matters the more the older you get as well.
Absolutely. So how old are you now, Neil?
53.
So what are the goals now? You've obviously hit 34 pounds. We've come to the end of what we're doing. How much more and where do you want to take it to?
So I think another couple of kilos because my body fat percentage um, is a little still on the high side. Very conscious of what I believe is a bit too much visceral fat that still really needs to be moved.
Mhm.
Um, Really like to get into 34s, and I'm on the journey to get into 34s. So that's another little goal as well. And I think if I can get to the goal weight of, well, I'm measuring it in kilos, so 77 kilos, I think that'll get me comfortably into 34s. In fact, I'm certain it will. Um, those are probably the goals. And then beyond that, it's really just to maintain that level with, less tracking, although I still feel as though there'll be some tracking involved.
Mhm.
Um, and just try and maintain at that, what I would then class as a quite a healthy weight, for the duration.
That's it. And that's the idea with tracking. People that don't understand how tracking really works, they assume that you're going to be doing that for the rest of your life. But the whole, you know, the aim of what we try and do is we use it as a tool, a very effective tool in the time that we're working together. And then it's a tool that you've always got in your back pocket. You come off fat, you want to get back into normal way of eating, but because you've learned the skills, you've learned how to balance a meal, the ratio between protein, fats, and carbs. You can eyeball that and then just use that as a tool. If you see the scales going up a little bit, jump back on MyFitnessPal for a week or two every now and then, just to keep it on check. Maybe you go on an all, 2 week all inclusive. I will say 3 or 4 pounds. Red flag goes up. Boom, pull the tool out, crack on, and use it for, that way, rather than staying on it religiously. People think that you need to be on it for the rest of your life tracking, and that's certainly not. I haven't tracked for years properly, but I know how to maintain because it's years of education and learning. And if I was really trying to dive in and get super lean, I would jump on just to get an idea. But well, look, I know you're a busy man. Few people that might see this video, what would you say to them, the ones that are sitting on the fence? Should I join the program? Should I not? What's your worldly piece of advice for these guys?
Well, from my perspective, I tried to do this by myself and I couldn't for whatever reason. Structure, discipline, guidance, all of the above. I fell into the trap of thinking that you can get this done on your own. And no doubt a few people can, but I would say that's the exception. So I, from my experience, commit, get involved, follow the program. It really does work. But like I think I said, the last time we spoke about this, look at it as a life-changing experience to get immediate benefits throughout the course of the program. But more importantly, don't look at it as a diet. Look at it as a wellness plan to get you on the path to live a healthier, longer life. And that's how I viewed this really from day one. And that's helped shaped the approach and the discipline of getting it done. And that's helping shape what I'm leaving with. And I also learned that because I did phase one and had a long gap between phase one and phase two. So I've learned that by actually coming out of the program as well. And really just to say, I couldn't have done this without you. So, many thanks for what you've done, because I do know I've tried to do this without help, without you, coming into the plan myself, and then in between when I left phase one before starting phase two. So give it a try, stick with it. It'll work if you do what the plan suggests.
It will indeed, man. It will indeed. Look, wise words. Thanks, Neil. Thanks for everything, mate. Been great to have you in the group.